I'm yours, looking for number 3. You're joining me for My First Two Loves, Chapter 58, Building Bridges. Whenever I was upset about getting up early, my mom would tell me the early bird gets the worm. Like if you stay up until some unholy hour and drive down to the shore in the dead of night, good things will happen. At least if you got back before your parents knew you were missing. But my mom's advice didn't quite apply as we fought our way through the rush hour traffic back to Eastridge. I'm dead. I'm so dead. He glanced at Mason's white-knuckled grip on the steering wheel and yelped as he swerved around the slow-moving semi. Mason, you've gotta slow down. Your dad can be harsh, but us sneaking out? It was for a good cause. We got the shot that's gonna save the whole art program. There's no way he can be mad about that, right? You're right. I'm sure I'm worrying for nothing. Everything is just gonna be fine. But even as he said it, I knew he was trying to convince himself as much as he was trying to convince me. When we pulled in Mason's driveway, the sun was fully up. Bold rays beamed down, reflecting off the pieces of plastic scattered across the lawn. What are those from? Suddenly, Principal Jennings stormed out of the house, his arms full of Mason's model airplanes. We watched in horror as he flung the load off the porch, and they shattered on impact. No, Dad, not my collection! Mason flung the car door open and ran out. By the time I caught up to him, Mason's mother had joined us. Can't you do this inside? You've neighbors, and they're watching! To hell with the neighbors! Mason's a big man now, sneaking out at night, getting drunk with your little girlfriend. I don't care. You want to be a man? Well, real men carry their own weight. Principal Jennings dropped a heavy suitcase at his feet. Mason stared at it in disbelief. I want you out of my house. Principal Jennings, please, this is my fault. He turned to look at me with pure hatred, and my words died in my mouth. As he took a step towards me, I took one back. You are the worst thing that ever happened to my son. I can't be any worse than you. In case you hadn't noticed, this isn't an Air Force base, and he isn't some airman you can just boss around. He's your son and you treat him like trash. Mason stepped between me and his father, blocking him from my view completely. Only when he gripped my shoulders did I realize I was shaking. Emma, I appreciate you standing up for me, but you should go. We both don't need to deal with this. But what about you? I'll be alright. This is something I need to handle on my own. Miss Jennings grabbed his arm and ushered both her husband and son inside and away from prying eyes. But the jagged shards of plastic still lay glittering in the sun, a shining beacon of just how broken her family had become. I didn't see Mason at school that day. By the time evening fell, I was worried sick, and it was written all over my face when I saw no on the way to Winter Wonderland prep. I'd ask if something was wrong, but I feel it's kind of obvious. What's up? Mason snuck out to help me with my portfolio and got caught. I haven't heard from him since this morning. Jennings is a big boy. He can take care of himself. You didn't see his dad's face. I turned to head for the skating rink, but Noah caught my arm. Hey, there's not much I can do to help Mason. He slipped his fingers between mine and led me towards the side door, his smile growing the entire time. But I can take your mind off of him. He pushed open the door. To reveal the completed ice rink, I took a moment to look around, speechless. Cool. So, what do you think? Wow. How'd we get it done so fast? I hate to admit it, but I think our new leader had something to do with it. An arm wrapped itself around my shoulders, and when I looked up, Elijah was grinning down at me. If you're trying to give credit where it's due, I'll gladly take it. All of this was you? Turns out Elijah worked construction for a bit. Foreman, actually, so I know plenty about getting a project done right, on time, and under budget. But if you're looking for the master electrician, that's all Noah. clapped a hand on Noah's back, and I raised an eyebrow. I drew up a plan for some extra decorations we could add. So this isn't the finished thing yet? Not even close. Here, look at the sketch I did. I peered at Noah's sketch, taking in all the details. I could picture it in my mind and before a diamond choice. Okay. So basically, Master Electrician is just gonna hang lights everywhere. Master Electrician. It's gorgeous. I can't believe you went through the trouble of planning this out. I wouldn't stop talking about how much you were gonna love it. Oh, really? I thought the area looked a little bare, so I thought I'd spice it up. No big deal. But the look on his face said differently. He was proud of his work, and I couldn't help but imagine skating with him hand in hand amongst the golden fairy lines. We don't have to go through it. Maybe it's kind of gaudy, but I thought it would look romantic. Noah gave me a shy smile. Do you like it? Like anyone who could say, no, I want to meet you. I mean, besides the fact it costs diamonds, but you know. I love your idea. We should definitely put those decorations up. I was hoping you'd say that. I'll be putting them up tonight, then. His eyes met mine, and my stomach did a little flip. I couldn't believe it. He'd done all this for me. Elijah cleared his throat. Well, you two keep staring in each other's eyes like that, and I'm gonna go make sure the power grid can handle us diverting all this energy. His eyes twinkled with mischief as he gave Noah a shoulder squeeze, and then he was off. Lord, are you slacking off again? Hustle! Winter Wonderland's tomorrow. I'm working, but I don't see why I have to help out when I'm not the leader anymore. And there's your problem. Duh. Your brother's settling into his new role so well. Maybe he's finally found his calling. All I know is that thanks to him, we might actually stand a chance of making some money for this thing. That doesn't sound like your usual anti-Elijah propaganda. Noah was silent for a moment, then shrugged and shoved his hands into his pockets. When he was gone, it was easy to only see him as a villain, but now that he's back and looks like he's really trying, I guess I just forgot how nice it is to have an older brother around. Well, don't go giving him all the credit when the fundraiser's a success. I don't think my photo is going to make waves in the, I really think it's going to make waves in the auction tomorrow night. I wouldn't doubt that for a second. Though, and I turned to see Mason walking up from the parking lot. As he joined us, I noticed how red his eyes were. Mason. Relax, Emma. I'm okay. Really? Because you look like hell. Mason let his hands fall to his sides, and I watched as he turned to Noah and smiled? You would know. How is Satan nowadays? Don't ask me, you live with him. Mason extended a hand to Noah, who smirked and returned the gesture. What was this? They couldn't actually be friends now, could they? Yeah. See, us guys, we actually get over shit a lot faster than girls. I'm just saying. It's a benefit of being a guy. For whatever reason, we don't hold grudges, typically. Are you guys besties now? No way. Yeah, way to make things weird, Emma. We also don't like to be intimate, personal, things like that, question mark? With everything we've gone through the last few months, I guess we've just realized that maybe we're not as different as we thought. Before I knew it, the two of them launched into a conversation. I was thrilled that they weren't about to tear each other's head off, but the thought of having to share either of them, even with the other, made me strangely jealous? I guess I'll be over here setting up my photos. I didn't wait for a response before darting over to the booth as the green-eyed monster settled on my shoulder. What's going on with me? I can't be possessive over both of them. It's called jealousy. It's okay. You can accept it and own it. My hands moved lightning fast to keep pace with my thoughts, placing the photos subconsciously. Excellent placement. These really draw the eye to your desired focal point. The voice brought me back to reality, and I whirled around to see Miss Larson standing right behind me. Miss Larson, what are you doing here? Stalking you. since Winter Wonderland is tomorrow night, I thought I'd drop in and see how the silent auction artwork was coming along. My heart stopped. In cheer, I'd perform stunts that defied gravity with ease, but that was structured. The rules were clear. Art is subjective, and the thought of handing my work over to be judged left me completely frozen. Miss Larson took a step towards my booth, and I walked with my heart in my throat. Now let's have a look, Keyword! Literally and figuratively, art is subjective, and many people don't understand that. Without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down in the description below, links to social media, Discord, and a few links to support me and my content. As I've said once again, art is subjective. I can't stop saying it because it is. It's exactly what I'm doing. When there's voice actors, okay, I'm gonna quickly do this in 30 seconds or less. When Dragon Ball Z initially did its voice actors, Goku and Vegeta both had completely different voice actors. Then it was completely redirected. They picked up two new voice actors, and which was Sean Shamil and Christopher Sabat. They went with those voices instead, and they've continued to be the voice actors for those characters. It was just subjective. It was depending on the company that handled them and also wanted to see the vocal points and, ranges and things like that. So, again, there's nothing to compare it to on choices, right? On YouTube, there's no one on Twitch, there's no one Rip Mixer. There's no one. Literally, I am the only one that did this. The only person that ever actually read choices besides myself was, unfortunately, one of my friends and colleagues who quit being a content creator and became a singer. So congratulations to her. Again, she's off doing her own thing. But she only did reading. She didn't do voices. But, again, she did her own thing. That's how the shit works. Literally, that is what YouTube is as a platform. But I digress. You are supposed to basically encourage the growth of uniqueness. Not everybody is supposed to file in line and look the same and work 8 to 5 and do the same shit and wear the same clothing, have the same hairdo, everything else, because then the uniqueness is completely lost. But I wouldn't expect some of you to understand that, especially some of you who critique me and go, I'm the worst possible human being on the planet, when you're completely have your head up your ass. So, thanks again for watching. Catch you all later. Peace.